with kids.
No, you can walk away. You cannot come on this aircraft.
You are shaking and I can see it.
And because you guys are jeopardizing the safety of this aircraft right now.
Okay.
So I'm threatened by both of you.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Flipping all over the ground. You can't, you're engaging, you're loud, you want attention from everybody. All of us, the whole entire crew saw it. All of us are in agreement that you cannot
Flipping on the ground, you mean the cartwheels I was doing with the children that I met on the flight?
As I was watching you drink your alcohol.
Bit of a contentious episode here. The Southwest flight attendant was stopping this couple from getting on the flight because they were too damn drunk. Cartwheels, playing with kids, downing that wine. It's a little bit angry back and forth with it. And as they continue to talk about whether or not they should be allowed on this flight, I began to wonder, is this something that they can do? Here's a little bit more of it.
Like I said, I did have one glass of wine.
Right, and so because you've admitted it, I'm not going to allow you to come on this aircraft today.
So anybody that's had one glass cannot get onto this
No,
flight?
anybody who's exhibiting behaviors of being intoxicated is not allowed to come onto an aircraft.
Do I seem intoxicated to you right now?
Yeah, you do. Because you aren't following any sort of instructions that any of us are asking you to do.
Because I have kids at home that I'm waiting to get back to.
Well, that's unfortunate. I have guidelines that we follow in our manual, and you can actually look it up on the FAA.gov. Your inability to walk away is saying that you are.
It's the exact opposite, but this will not be
The denials of being drunk, I actually can't rule on that because who knows. But apparently from the actions that they observed, the entire crew had an issue with this couple having a little too much fun apparently at the gate before they got on this aircraft. Now, yes, I think it was a friend of mine's bachelor party down in Mexico. Yo, these guys got on the airplane. This is years ago, with the little shooter bottles of alcohol that they somehow snuck through. Again, this is years ago, and the drunkenness ensued. Good thing it was not this lady, because all of us would have been kicked off that flight before we ever got there. I wondered to the degree to which this was actually something that stuck out to the degree, because I kind of felt bad when they said they can't get back to their kids and all this. And if she had just one glass of wine, maybe she's having fun, maybe she's a happy-go-lucky type of person. Who knows? But there is some things that she was able to do as far as this flight attendant in stopping this. But your thoughts about whether or not this is, I don't know, I guess, as she's the judge and the execution.
I guess I have mixed feelings. Similarly to you, I've been in situations where, there have been too much partying, then you go get on a plane and you go home, right? They sell alcohol at the airport. A lot of people have a glass of wine while they're waiting at their gate. That's not unusual. That's not unusual behavior. And it's certainly, I would hope, not worth, getting kicked off of a flight. Flying is already stressful as it is. It feels like at every point there can be a delay, something can go wrong. So people are already kind of on edge whenever they're flying. I travel quite a bit and it's always, very hit or miss what kind of experience you're gonna have. And the flight attendant was kind of, I don't know if gaslighting is the right word, but she was saying, your inability to walk away is indicative of the fact that, you're not in the right state of mind to be getting on this plane. That's ridiculous. Because if it was me, I would have been a lot more contentious. I would have not been a nice person to this flight attendant. And I probably wouldn't have been as calm as this woman seemed to be in the clip. I don't know what previous behavior was. I don't know what was going on before this interaction, but she
mentioned
seemed
cartwheels.
Okay. She
mentioned cartwheels with kids.
That's weird. Yeah, cartwheels are weird, but presumably she's not gonna cartwheel on the plane. So, whatever. But yeah, like I said, we weren't there. All we have to go off of is this one interaction. And I don't know, I would just let people go home.
Well,
that said,
yeah,
I don't wanna be on the plane with somebody who's drunk. Nobody wants that interaction. Nobody wants to have that experience. It's very uncomfortable for everybody on the plane. But one thing that the flight attendant kept saying was that she felt threatened. And that seemed very, very subjective to me. And I think that can be a slippery slope if that's overused. I
It
guess.
seemed a little more personal than just this
Yeah.
rule, which, by the way, she said, I have the right. This is that rule, just in case you guys wonder. Airlines contracts of carriage, the legal agreement a passenger accepts when they buy that ticket, say that passengers may not be allowed to fly if they appear intoxicated or under the influence of drugs. Means they could be kept from boarding or removed from a plane once on board. And aviation regulations actually say it that they kind of shouldn't even, they have the responsibility, being flight attendants, whoever it is that's blocking them off from actually allowing folks on if they appear intoxicated. Because again, it can be dangerous. Look, or it could be as annoying as that rich kid from a few years ago who was sitting there going, my grandpa, he makes more money than the rest of you guys combined. Remember that kid? And they taped his ass up. That whole thing that went down. So I get the potential struggles with